the derivative of that with respect to x. Okay? This means that. Okay? This means if you take the derivative of this, you're going to get f prime of g of x times g prime of x, because the composite function I have to apply the chain rule. Any questions? Let's find the first one first. Let's go there, put that in there. So you're going to get 2x minus 3 to the 5th. Let's take the derivative of that. 5 times 2x minus 3 to the 4th times 2. Done. B. Need glasses, Jasmine? Well, I think you do. I beg to differ. I think the vanity is getting the best of you. Or you need new prescription contacts. Okay, this means g of f of x. This means take the derivative of that, which is g prime of f of x, okay, times f prime of x. That's what that means. So let's go find this. This means now take f, put it in g, so you're going to end up getting 2 times x to the 5th minus 3, so that's done. And of course this means to take the derivative of that, which is 10x to the 4th, and that's done. Okay, moving on through. Let's go from 7 through 25 odd. Yeah, 13. Yes, what's that? 25. Joe? Okay. Alright, 13. So 13, you have f of x is equal to square root of 4 plus square root of 3x. For those of you that are algebraically challenged, which is about pretty much all of you, this is the same thing as 4 plus 3x to the 1/2 to the 1/2 power. Now when you take the derivative of this, you have to use a chain rule. You got to take the derivative of that function, which is 1/2 times 4 plus 3x to the 1/2, because I got to leave the inside alone, and then when I subtract I get negative 1/2 times. I am going, okay, this is one of the mistakes every year half of the kids make. They don't keep, you have to keep looking at this function. Don't look at this function here. Okay? You always look at this function, you work outside in as you go. Okay, that means now I got to go inside here, take the derivative of that. Derivative of 4 is 0, so I'm going to take the derivative of that, which is 1/2 3x to the negative 1/2. And then I got to take the derivative inside of that, which is 3. And that's it. Again, for those of you that are algebraically challenged, leave it alone. You don't have to simplify. But if you do choose to simplify to impress me, and if it's wrong, I'm going to be very unimpressed, and I'm going to have to take points off. But if you just leave it alone, I'll give you full credit. Okay, x plus cosecant. And an AP test on free response questions, they don't care if you don't simplify. Lucky for you. Okay. We're taking the derivative of this. The outside function is that. So that's negative 3. all that times x plus cosecant of x to the third plus 3 raised to the negative 4. Okay, I leave everything inside alone as I go. Then times, I'm going inside. Okay, so derivative of x is 1 plus. Then when I go take the derivative of this, I have to use chain rule again because there's an outside function here, and the outside function there is, now what's the outside of this? That's a composite function. What's the outer function on that one? Huh? No. Cosecant. So I gotta take the derivative of cosecant, which is negative cosecant, but I have to write x to the third plus 3, okay, times cotangent of x to the third plus 3. So I've taken derivative of that times. I have to take the derivative of the inside now, which is 3x squared. And then I can close my brackets. Right, let's move on to 27 through 39. Yes. 39, may you see? 35, 37, 29, 27. These are hard? Wow. 27. X to the third times sine squared of 5x. Okay, they want me to take the derivative of this. Well, good morning, sunshine, or good afternoon. Okay, I'm taking the derivative of this. But this is the product rule first. So I got to take the first times derivative of the second. So that's x to the third times. When I go take the derivative of this, what is my outside function in that one? No, it's not. The square function is the outside function. So that's 2 sine of 5x times. What's my next inside function there? Sine x. So derivative of that is cosine x. Remember, I keep writing 5x. Okay, until I go inside, derivative of that is 5. That's only halfway done. Plus the second, which is sine squared of 5x, times derivative of the first, which is 3x squared. Product rule. All right, 29. Y is equal to x to the 5th times secant of 1 over x. If I see 1 over x, you know I'm going to have to take the derivative of that. But if I do that, I'll have to use a quotient rule. And if I can avoid a quotient rule, it'll make my life really easy. And in this situation, I can, if I rewrite this as a secant of x to the negative 1. Then I don't have to worry about the quotient rule when I get inside. Okay, now I can take a derivative. Product rule. First times derivative of the second. So x to the 5th times derivative of the second. What's my outside function here? Secant. Okay, what's the derivative of secant? Secant. Okay, so it'll be secant x to the negative 1 and times tan. Okay, x to the negative 1. Okay, times. I gotta go inside, take the derivative of that, which is negative x to the negative 2. Plus second, which is secant x to the negative 1 times derivative of the first, which is 5x to the 4. I don't know how many times you guys will ask that question. Can you leave it like that? Answer is yes. Okay. 35, 37, and 39. Okay, let's go with 35. 35. 5x plus 8 to the 13 times x to the third plus 7x to the 12th. Those of you that do not know the secant rule or chain rule, product rule and chain rule, you can't do it this way. You can multiply all this out by binomial expansion, Pascal's triangle, multiply all of that out, and then take a derivative of a polynomial. Okay, good luck. Okay, let me know how it works out. Okay, let's go product rule. First, so it'd be 5x plus 8 to the 13 times 0 to the second. What's my outside function there? 12. That'll be x to the third plus 7x to the 11 times, I got to go inside, take the derivative of that, which is 3x squared plus 7. Okay, plus the second, which is x to the third plus 7x to the 12 times the derivative of the first. The outside function there is 13, so it would be 13 times 5x plus 8 to the 12 times the derivative of the inside, which is 5. And your question is, can we leave it like that? Okay, so 37. Y is equal to x minus 5, all that over 2x plus 1 to the 3. Okay, there's no avoiding now. We have to use a quotient rule on the inside. Okay, but outside function in this situation is 3. So it would be 3 times x minus 5 over 2x plus 1 to the second times, I'm going inside now, so cover me. Okay, denominator times 0 to the numerator minus the numerator times 0 to the denominator, all that over denominator squared. Looking at last quiz, some of you are challenged by the quotient rule. Yeah, that's it. 39. Y is equal to 2x plus 3 to the third, all that over 4x squared minus 1 to the 8th. Okay, what rule do I apply here? Quotient rule. So denominator, which is 4x squared minus 1 to the 8th, times 0 to the numerator, but the numerator, what's outermost function there? 3, so it'll be 3 times 2x plus 3 to the second times the derivative of the inside, which is 2, minus the numerator, which is 2x plus 3 to the third, okay, times the derivative of the denominator, which is, what is my outside function in the denominator? 8, okay, 4x squared minus 1 to the 7th, times the derivative of the inside, which is 8x. And then, okay, so we have all of that, okay, and all that's going to be over, okay, I got to square the denominator, so 4x squared minus 1 to the 16th. See how easy calculus is? Wait till next week. I am going to have such a great time watching you suffer. All you guys care about is grades, and your grades will be going down next week. They're all going south. Bye bye. 47 and 49. 43. Alright, remember, you guys are trying to do this stuff. Back in the day, we didn't do this until we went to college. We were 19, 20, 21. So you guys are ahead of the ball game. But the bad news is, I know 8th graders that do this stuff now. So you're behind the ball game. Yes. 45. Good news is you're ahead of your parents. Bad news is you're behind your little brothers and sisters. 41. Yeah. When I first came to Poway School District, they told me you can't teach calculus to except seniors. So when we opened Westview, we had a whole sophomore class full of sophomores. And they fought me. The kids who, it's not fair, why are you making us take calculus? They don't take calculus at Mount Carmel. And they all passed. Then everybody started taking calculus. Alright, what's my outside function? 5. X times sine of 2x plus tangent to the 4th, x to the 7th to the 4th power. Okay, times. I'm going inside. When I go here, I have to use a product rule and a chain rule. First, times derivative of the second, derivative of the second, oops, made a mistake. Okay, that's the derivative of the second. Plus second times derivative of the first, which is 1. Okay, this is done. Plus, I'm going here. What's my outside function there? 4. 4 times tangent to the 3rd of x to the 7th. Times. What's my next inside function? What is it? No. Tangent. So derivative of tangent is 6 x to the 7th times the innermost function is, that'll be 7x to the 6th. Okay, closing the brackets. Oh, I'm sorry, you're supposed to use a computer-aided device to do that. Maybe it's just too hard for you. Yeah, back in the day they used to have a. Yeah, you do. Your graphing calculator does this for you. You just punch it in, tell it to take a derivative. It spits out the answer. Okay, that's why you don't get to use a graphing calculator. Not until, not now. What's that? No. 43. Okay, these are Caro's favorite problems because she can't do any algebra. Alright, they want you to find the equation of a tangent line. That means it's a line. Okay, what two things do you need to find the equation of a line? Point and slope. Okay, so I have an x value. How do I find my y value? Plug it in. That's y of pi, which is pi times cosine of 3 pi. Devin, what's cosine of 3 pi? Ah, don't you help her. It's -1. You don't know your unit circle, do you, Devin? Top of your head. You have to draw the whole thing, don't you? Okay. All right. Here we go. That's my point. Yeah. Y prime. What do I get when I take y prime? What am I really finding? Slope. I'm finding the slope. Rate of change of the function. So it's product rule. First times root of the second. That is negative sine of 3x times 3. Plus the second, which is cosine 3x times the root of the first. Okay, this is the slope of this curve, means the steepness of this curve. Guess what? If this is a position of a rocket, this is the velocity of the rocket at any given time. That's why it links to physics. Okay? Right now, without calculus, you can only do physics with lines. But physics C is with calculus. That means you can use any function to find velocity acceleration. So this is the velocity curve. We'll get to that down the road. But right now, we're going to find the velocity at pi, which is also the slope of the curve. That's going to give me pi, and sine of pi, or 3 pi, is, Devin? Don't hide from me. I can see you. What's that? Okay. Maybe Shayna. Jessica, I'm sorry. Shayna's not here. Shayna's in my other class. Jessica. What's sine of 3 pi? I'm trying to find people that don't know. That was... Okay. Let's see. Jackie! What's sine of 3 pi? 0. As soon as that's 0, this whole thing is 0. Plus cosine of 3 pi. Oh, Devin, what's cosine 3 pi? Don't you turn around there. Okay, then tell me. Thank you. Okay, this turns into -1. Okay, so slope is -1. You know what that means? I'm trying to connect the dots for you. If this is a position, okay, of a, let's say, bicycle, it's going downhill because the velocity is negative. It's -1 means it's going downhill at a 45-degree angle. That's what that means. Okay? But we're going to find the equation of the tangent line. That means we're going to go y plus pi, which is that, is equal to -1 times x minus pi. Okay? All right. $45. Y is equal to secant cubed of pi over 2 minus x. I'm coming after the rest of you who don't know your algebra and trig. Negative pi over 2. Okay, this is negative pi over 2. Kara, how do I find my y value? Plug it in. Pi over 2, which is secant squared of pi over 2 plus pi over 2. Secant of pi, same thing as cosine of pi flipped. What's cosine of pi? What's that? What's cosine of pi, Kara? -1. So this is going to be -1 cubed, which is -1. Okay. And this is, I'm sorry, this is not the derivative, so erase that mark. Now I got to take the derivative. Okay, what rule do I apply to take the derivative? Chain rule. What's outside function? 3. So 3 secant squared of pi over 2 minus x times, what's my next inside function? Secant. So what's the derivative of secant? Secant tan. So it would be secant of pi over 2 minus x times tan of pi over 2 minus x. Okay, and what's the innermost function now? That's going to be negative 1, okay, times negative 1. Okay, I am plugging in what? Okay, I'm plugging in negative pi over 2. So this looks like 3, okay? We already figured out what this turned into when I plugged in negative pi over 2. Didn't we do that right there? It turned out to be negative 1, right? That's squared. Okay, and this also will turn out to be what? Negative 1, right? Okay, times negative 1. And when I plug in negative pi over 2, that'll become tangent of pi. Chelsea, what's tangent of pi? Very good. 0 times negative 1. When you multiply 0 times anything, what do you get? Very good. 0. Okay, I'm not done with you yet. M is equal to 0. What kind of a line are you going to get when the slope is 0? Don't say straight line, because all lines are straight. Very good. You're almost there. It's a horizontal line that goes through that point. How do you write the equation of that horizontal line? Yes. No, I'm just thinking out loud.
Y plus 1.
There you go. There it is. Wow. $47. Y is equal to tangent of 4 x squared. X is equal to rad pi. Okay. I know my x value. What else? I need to know my y value before I can write equation of a tangent line. How do I find my y value? Carl, our y value specialist. Okay, so y of rad pi, which is tangent of 4 rad pi squared, which is going to give me tangent of 4 pi. Our unit circle expert, Chelsea, what's tangent of 4 pi? 0. Look at that. That's 0. Okay, how do I find Amy? You've been kind of quiet. How do I find the slope of that curve? Okay, let me make this very good. Let me make this perfectly clear to all of you. If you have no clue what to do on AP test, take a derivative. Okay? If you still have no clue what to do, whatever x value they have, plug it in. If you still have no clue, take a second derivative. Okay? Plug in the x value. And then hope that you'll get some points because you're 50% right. Because this is calculus. We take derivatives or integrals. That's about it. Okay? So, let's take a derivative. Y prime. Okay? If I ask you a question, what do you do next? You should say, take a derivative. What's the outside function, Amy? Okay, don't be an idiot. What's the outside function? Tangent. Okay, derivative of tangent is secant squared. Very good, Amy. 4x squared times the inside. Derivative of the inside is 8x. Let's plug in. Okay, rad pi. Okay, I have a secant squared of 4 rad pi squared times 8 times rad pi. Okay, when I square the rad pi, I'm going to get a pi. I'm going to get 4 pi. What's cosine of 4 pi? When I square the 1, I'm going to get 1 times 8 rad pi. So my slope is 8 rad pi. I like this. Okay, the reason I like this is, those of you that like old school, remember back in the day we used to go y is equal to mx plus b? Oh. Now, write the equation of a line. Y minus 0, which is y. Okay, 8 rad pi times x minus rad pi. That. For those of you that still like to do the old school way, you'll be working for a while. Okay, because you got to go find the b, which really turns out to be, what do you think? I'll give you 5 bonus points on the quiz if you tell me what b is just looking at it. Raise your hand first. Okay, let me give it to the poor souls that need it. Chelsea. No. Okay. I'm looking for souls that need points. Oh, Macy does need points after last quiz. What? 8. 8? No, wrong. No, right, wrong. Okay. Alright. I think Lily's got a little help from boyfriend. What's the answer, Lily? Negative 8 pi. There you go. When you multiply that, I'm going to explain it right now. When you multiply here, you're going to get negative 8 pi. And that's my b. Alright, you get 5 bonus points. Alright. Kara, stop being catty over there. 49. Y is equal to x squared 5 minus x squared. What? Alright, Carl, how do I find my y value? Plug it in. Okay, let's plug it in. 1 here, 1 there. That's going to give me 4. Rad 4 is 2. 2 times 1 is 2. Let's find the slope. Product rule. First times root of the second, but what's the outside function here? 1/2. So 1/2 times 5 minus x squared to the negative 1/2 times the derivative of the inside, which is negative 2x. Okay, but I'm not done. Plus second, which is rad 5 minus x squared times the root of the first, which is 2x. Alright, I want to caution you. You will be so tempted to simplify this. Fight it, because you're not good at it. Okay? You'll mess it up. Okay? Just plug it in. Okay? Plug in 1. 1 there, 1. 1 here, square that, is 1. 5 minus 1, 4. Square root of 4, 2. Flip it. Negative on the exponent means to flip it. What do you get when you flip 2? 1 over 2. Okay, let's start again. Plug in 1. 5 minus 1. Square root of 4. Flip it. Okay, 1/2 times 1/2. Times. Plug in 1. Negative 2. Okay. Plus. Plug in 1 here. Okay. This becomes 2. So you have 2 times plug in 1 there. 2. Okay. What are you waiting on? Just thinking? Okay. Are you done thinking? Okay. Alright. This you should be able to handle. 1 times 1/4. 1/4 times -2. 2 times 2. Slope is okay. Alright. We're in right class, right? Calculus, AP. Okay. Y minus 2 is equal to 3/2 times x minus 1. You were looking for extended calculus. That was down the hall. Alright, that's it. Leave it alone. We're done with that section, right? Raika? Anything else in that domain? Alright. 2 of them, that's it. Number 5. F of x is equal to x to the 3rd times sine of x minus 5 times cosine of x. Okay, we want to take the derivative of this. Wow, what a novel idea. Here we go. Product rule. First time derivative second. What's derivative sine? Cosine x. Plus second times derivative first. Minus 5 is just a coefficient. For those of you that love take derivatives, you can use a product rule on this, but when you take the derivative 5, that turns into a 0. So just coefficients, you can just leave it out there and take the derivative of that, which is a negative sine of x. I don't really care if you leave it there. Some teachers want you to simplify, but I know better. Okay, 17. I have f of x is equal to sine of x, secant of x, all that over 1 plus x tan x. Okay, sometimes you look at that and that looks pretty ugly. When something's ugly, you might want to think of doing some algebra trickerations first, okay, and then go with it, because it might make your life a little easy, because secant of x is really 1 over cosine of x, and when you multiply that times sine x, what does that turn into? Tangent x. That way you don't have to apply a product rule on the top, okay? So that will save you a ton of mess. Yes, Jasmine. Jasmine, I am going to do that, but I'm not. I refuse to do product rule on that. Well, change it to tangent, ma'am. It will make your life a lot easier. Okay. Okay. Okay, then. Guess what? When you finish the answer, okay, plug in, let's say, pi in place. This is a trig function. Plug in pi. If it works out, then you're in good shape. Okay, you can always check it should be the same answer. Okay, here we go. F prime of x. Denominator, which is 1 plus x tan x, times root of the numerator, which is secant squared x, minus the numerator, which is tan x, times the derivative of the denominator. Okay, derivative of 1 is 0, but here I got a mess. Okay, I got a product rule. Okay, first times derivative of the second, which is secant squared x, plus second times derivative of the first, and derivative of the first is 1. And all that's going to be over 1 plus x tan x whole quantity is squared. Right. Okay, let's go from 19 through 23 odd, 27 and 29 and 35. That's what I gave you. What we got? 29, 21. Jasmine. Got it? Is that it? All right, here we go. Having said that, since I give you 80 minutes a day in this period, in this class to do homework, plus I pretty much went over all the homework in class, I did. If you're missing a single problem, okay, I'm not going to be a very happy camper. You can't say, oh, I didn't have time to do homework. Okay, come to class, do homework. Here we go. This is 21. I have y is equal to x sin of x minus 3 cosine of x. Yeah. Alright, they want me to do this, d squared y over dx squared. Okay, before I do that, I'm going to explain to you where this symbolism comes from. When you take the derivative of that's the first derivative, and when you take the derivative of this, you take the derivative of the first derivative. Notice how you get d squared y on the top and dx squared on the bottom. See that? Okay. Instead of writing all this, okay, they just write it like that. Alright? Okay, let's take y prime. Focus, Rika. First times derivative of second. First times derivative of second. Plus second times derivative of the first. Minus 3 times derivative of cosine, which is negative sine. Okay, now this is one situation where you're taking like a second, and some down the road you'll take third and fourth derivatives. Okay, when you have to go that far, you should simplify as you go. Okay, because it will make your life really easy. Otherwise, you're going to be miserable. Okay, let's clean this up. X cosine of x, and this is going to be plus sine x plus 3 sine x. And then if I clean it up some more, I'm going to get x cosine x plus 4 cosine x, or 4 sine x. Okay, now it's just a little bit easier for me to take a second derivative. So let's go ahead and do that. Sine x. Okay, y double prime. Product rule. First times derivative of second. All cofunctions will have negative derivatives. Okay, plus second times derivative of the first plus 4 times derivative of sine x, which is cosine x. That's it. Now if you want to simplify, you can. You don't have to now. Okay, but if you do simplify, this becomes negative x sine x plus 5 cosine x. Okay, 21, 23, 27, and 29. Alright, 23. Y is equal to sine x cosine x. Okay, and y prime is going to be first times root of second. Okay, sine x, okay, negative sine x plus second times root of the first, which is cosine x, which is equal to negative sine squared x plus cosine squared x. This is y prime. Now, when you take a second derivative, you're going to use chain rule. But you can't use chain rule because you don't know the chain rule. Chain rule is the next section. So, what should I do? Yes, that's what that is. But then you're going to have to use chain rule anyway. So either way, I would have to use chain rule. But here, I have to keep going like that, use a product rule. Okay? Which is, we'll just take a shortcut. And that's a trig in it anyway. So let's take a second derivative. What's the outside function here? Cosine be negative sine of 2x times 2. Okay? If you know your trig. Okay, 27. You'll know it. A. You're given y is equal to x sine x, and they want you to show y double prime plus y is equal to 2 cosine x. Okay, so let's take the first derivative. Okay, first times derivative second plus second times derivative the first. Okay, let's take a second derivative. Product rule right there. First times derivative second plus second times derivative the first, and then derivative of that, which is cosine x. Let's clean this up. Negative x sine x plus 2 cosine x. This is known as a differential equation because there's a derivative in there. So let's go ahead, take that differential equation, plug in everything we need to know. Y double prime is negative x sine x plus 2 cosine x. Okay, plus y, which is x sine x. And that has to equal to 2 cosine x. And of course, this and this are going to cancel. I get 2 cosine x is equal to 2 cosine x, and that is true. Alright. Now, part B is actually related to part A, so I need to go ahead, erase the bottom part. So I'm going to continue on. Okay, in part B, they say they want you to show that this is not y to the 4th power. Okay, the reason it's not y to the 4th power is because there's a parentheses around 4. Okay, so what do you think that means? It means 4th derivative. Yep. Okay. All right. So we're going to take, this is the second derivative, so we're going to take a third derivative. Okay, we can write third derivative with 3 tick marks. Okay, but once we get to 4th, 5th, 6th, we're going to use parentheses on the exponents. Okay, so third derivative is derivative of that, which is first times derivative of second plus second times derivative of the first, and then derivative of that, which is 2 times negative sine x. Clean this up, so I have a negative x cosine x, and then that's negative sine x and negative 2 sine x, which is negative 3 sine x. Okay, the fourth derivative, again product rule, first times derivative of the second, which is negative sine x, plus second cosine x times derivative of the first, which is negative 1, okay, minus 3 times derivative of sine x, which is cosine x. Clean it up. This is going to be x sine x. That's negative 1 cosine x, negative 3 cosine x, negative 4 cosine x. Okay, I got to make that is equal to fourth derivative plus second derivative. So let's go ahead and write the fourth derivative, x sine x minus 4 cosine x, plus the second derivative, which is that one right there, and that is negative x sine x plus 2 cosine x. Alright, so I got negative 4 cosine x, and I got negative sine x and positive sine x, and they go cancel out. And this is positive 2 cosine x and negative 4 cosine x, so that reduces to what on the right side? Okay, negative 2 cosine x, and that's equal to negative 2 cosine x. Okay. Alright. So next one, 29. Oh, before I do 29, I'm going to show you something. You're going to have an epiphany. You're about to. Okay, let's say you have y is equal to 3x squared plus 5x plus 1. What type of graph do you get? Parabola. Which way does it open? Up. How do you find the vertex of the parabola? There's a formula for it? Negative b over 2a. X is equal to negative b over 2a. That's the formula, right? Okay. That is the formula. Let me show you something. You're just going to be wild in a second. Y is equal to ax squared plus bx plus 1, or plus c, is an equation of a parabola, right? Let's take the derivative of this. 2ax plus b. Okay, this is the slope of the curve. At the vertex, what is the slope of a parabola? At the vertex, what's the slope there? 0. Set it equal to 0. Solve for x. 2ax is equal to negative b. X is equal to negative b over 2a. That's where the formula came from. Okay? So, if someone came up to you, asked you how to find the slope of that parabola, just take a derivative. Okay? Don't say, there's a formula. Okay? There's my derivative. Set it equal to 0. Okay? And then x is equal to negative 5 over 6. Okay? Instead of saying, no, there's a formula I forgot. Yeah, you get. I mean, if you're talking about slopes. Yeah, I know. I did an experiment with my extended kids one year. Yeah, last year I think. It wasn't last year. I said, okay, I'm going to show you an easy way. I said, just take a derivative, set it equal to 0. Let me show you how to take a derivative. After about 5-10 minutes they go, can you just memorize a formula? So it was confusing for the derivative itself. But 29. Here we go. F of x is equal to sin of x. Okay, they want me to find all the horizontal tangents. Okay, so between negative 2 pi and 2 pi. What does that mean? It means they want you to go around the circle once this way, and they want you to go around the circle once that way. That's what it means. That's my domain. Okay, horizontal tangent means the slope is what? 0. That means the derivative has to equal to 0. So, where on the circle is cosine equal to 0? Here and here, which means x is equal to pi over 2 and 3 pi over 2. But we also have to go in the negative direction. Okay, so it'd be negative pi over 2 and negative 3 pi over 2. And that's it. B. Okay, f of x is equal to x plus cosine of x. Okay? Now, take the derivative, which is 1 plus, or 1 minus, actually. Derivative of cosine is negative sine, b minus sine x. Set it equal to 0. That's what horizontal tangent means. So sine x is equal to 1. Where is sine x equal to 1? Right there, which is x is equal to pi over 2. But if you go in this direction, it is negative 3 pi over 2. Okay, C. F of x is equal to tan x. Oh, by the way, I'll show you another epiphany here. We did this in a squeeze theorem, but I failed to mention this to you. Remember when we proved limit as x goes to 0 sine x over x is equal to 1? Okay, I created two triangles. One was there and one was here. And I asked you if this angle here was x. What's this side? Okay, and I took liberty and I just went ahead and told you what that was. I told you that was tan, okay, of x. Let me tell you why. Okay, this is 1 because that's unit circle. That's my angle x. This is the opposite side. So opposite over 1, which is adjacent, is same thing as tangent of the x. So therefore, the opposite side, which is this, turns out to be tangent of x. But what a coincidence, this is the line that touches the circle at one point. That's why it's called a tangent of x. If it cuts at two places, it's called a chord. Okay? Intrigued. Yeah, I can see. Alright, getting back to this. Okay, secant squared x. Shh. This is same thing as 1 over cosine squared x. Where is that equal to 0? Why? Right, because only way a fraction can equal 0 if the top is 0. Top is never 0, so therefore it has no horizontal tangents. Okay? Okay. And the D, f of x, is equal to secant of x. What's f prime of x? Secant x, tan x. And we're going to set that equal to 0. So we're going to get secant x equal to 0. We'll get tangent of x equal to 0. When is secant x ever equal to 0? We just did that, never. Come on, secant x looks like this, right? When does that cross x-axis? Never. Okay. When is tan x equals 0? That's when sine x over cosine x is 0. When is that fraction equal to 0? When top is 0. So we're looking for where sine is 0. It's 0 here, here, and here, which means 0 pi and 2 pi. And we also have to go the other direction. So 0, negative pi, and negative 2 pi. Okay. Have one left, number 35. What does this mean when they write something like this? This shows up, actually this shows up on AP test. I've seen this. 87th derivative. Okay, here we go. We got a long ways to go, so let's get started. Okay, y is equal to sine of x. What's y prime? Cosine of x. What's y double prime? Sine x. What's y triple prime? Cosine x. What's the fourth derivative? It looks like we're going in circles. It reminds me of something you do on Friday quizzes. Okay. So it looks like this thing repeats after every 4 derivatives. You can keep going, or you can go back to your second grade class or first grade class when you took 87 divided by 4. 4 goes into 8 twice. Write 8 there. Bring down the 7. 4 goes into 7 once. 4, remainder is 3. What that means is that's 1, 2, the third derivative is going to be your answer. So the 87th derivative is negative cosine x. Okay? Having said that, let's take the 100th derivative of cosine x. Okay, we just need to take 4 of them, right? So y is equal to cosine x. So y prime, negative sine x. Y double prime, negative cosine x. Y triple prime, sine x. And then y fourth prime is cosine x. Okay? Alright. It repeats after every 4 things. If you divide 100 by 4, what do you have remaining? What? 0. That means it goes back to original function. Or the last one. It doesn't matter. That's it. Macy, but you say this was hard. Yeah. Huh? You had an epiphany?